You ever come home from something as boring as a grocery run, thinking you've got the world on pause for just an hour, only to walk in and realize your entire sense of safety, of privacy, just got drop-kicked out the window? Because let me tell you, I sure wasn't expecting to find three total strangers standing in my kitchen acting like I was the one intruding. If you'd told me a year ago my life would become a suburban war zone, I'd have laughed. Said, that kind of mess only happens to people who don't read their mail. Well, turns out sometimes you can read every damn line on your deed and still end up at war with people who think they own your house just because they own matching polos. So there I was, keys still swinging in the lock, grocery bags dangling off my arms, staring down two guys in Navy Crescent Trails HOA shirts and a woman in a beige blazer with an expression like she'd just licked a lemon, and I'm just trying to figure out if I'm dreaming or about to be on some hidden camera show. She says, "This will only take a moment, sir. We're conducting an interior compliance check." Like she's the health inspector and my home is a dirty sandwich shop. I'm frozen in the doorway. Grocery bags biting into my hands, an apple rolling out onto the floor. Everyday life suddenly surreal. "Sorry, what the hell are you doing in my house?" I manage. She flashes me a smile that doesn't reach her eyes, says something about structural irregularities and HOA protocol, Article 8, like she expects me to nod and thank her for breaking in. I cut her off. "I'm not part of your HOA. You've got zero authority here." She tells me my property was provisionally mapped under some expansion, which is news to me because I bought my house specifically to avoid this kind of nonsense. While she's giving me her speech, her guys are poking around my place, measuring pipes, pretending to take photos, just full-on trespassing. That's when I realized the front door was locked when I got here. No broken windows, no forced entry. So how did they get in? She waves a Code 6 emergency notice at me, says a neighbor reported strong odors and dangerous wiring. It looks like something someone whipped up on a printer, not a legal warrant. When I tell her to get out, she just shrugs. "You can challenge it later, sir. Right now, we're just documenting the findings." So I do what anyone would do. I grab my phone and start recording. Smile for the camera, I tell them, "You're all going to look fantastic in court." And not gonna lie, I was scared, but also pissed, because this was my home, my last stand against exactly this kind of HOA insanity. 15 minutes later, Austin PD shows up. One of the officers recognizes me from the farmer's market, thank God for small towns. Karen, yeah, her real name, you can't make this up, launches into some speech about shared interest enforcement, but the cop just looks at my deed and says, "This is outside the HOA by several hundred feet." Karen's face freezes, but she recovers just long enough to hiss as she leaves. "You're making a very unwise enemy, Mr. Holden." Like she's the villain in a C-grade Netflix drama. When they're finally gone, I feel like my house isn't mine anymore. I spend the evening installing deadbolts, setting up cameras, starting a folder called HOA Invasion Legal Evidence because something tells me this is just the beginning. And man, was I right. The next morning, I get an envelope in my mailbox, no stamp, just shoved in there. Final warning, it says from Crescent Trails Homeowners Association. Lists 3 violations: non-compliant front elevation, improper ground covering, and my favorite unauthorized architectural extension, which is just my old carport. Fines $700 per week per violation, effective immediately. And a QR code as if I'm about to tip the mafia. I don't even get mad. I just take it to my lawyer, Samantha. Her office is all jazz music and plants, but she's got the heart of a wolf. "Welcome to the HOA Hunger Games," she says. Turns out this isn't even new. Karen and her cronies have tried to expand their territory before scare people into paying pad their budget. But I've got the paperwork, the title, the city zoning map, and Samantha is ready to fight. Is ready. We fire off a cease and desist mail email, hand deliver it to the HOA office, then add even more cameras to the house just in time. Because next, the harassment goes low level and relentless. Anonymous notes. "Keep your trash off your lawn. My trash cans stay in the garage." More violations for things like wind chimes. I don't even own accusations of mailbox design and failing to landscape the perimeter hedge when there is no hedge. Each one gets scanned into the evidence file. Samantha laughs. "Beautiful, that's going in the file." Then my truck gets a new dent. No note, no witnesses, just passive-aggressive suburban warfare. It escalates to signs on my door, flyers on my windshield, and the online smear campaign next door Facebook group. Suddenly, I'm unstable, aggressive, a threat to property values. There's even a photo of my house darkened to look like a haunted crack den, complete with fake timestamp. It'd be funny if it wasn't so effective. Twist number 1. That's when I meet Scott 3 doors down. Ex-military doesn't take crap from anyone, and he's got stories. They tried the same thing on me, he says. Karen just wants power, and she's got an army of busybodies backing her up. We start talking, drinking beer on the porch, plotting. The next day I launch notyourHOA.com. My story, the city maps, the cease and desists, everything. Suddenly it's getting shared. Local news picks it up. People email me their horror stories, fines for flower pots, threatened foreclosure over a lawn windmill. Scott and I team up with Sharon, a retired paralegal who brings lemon bars and enough paperwork to sink a ship. We call ourselves the Independent Homeowners Collective. No, I wanted Bastards Club, but got vetoed. We print "Not Your HOA" signs, put them in every consenting yard. Karen's crew retaliates, snapping them in half, but the cameras catch them. We file formal complaints, attach all our evidence. Samantha digs up a map showing our street was explicitly denied for HOA annexation by city planning in 2019. Karen's expansion, pure fiction. But then a drone appears over my yard again, and a work order is filed for storm drain alignment on my property. Karen is trying to create a fake emergency to get city contractors to dig up my lawn. Samantha acts fast, files for a restraining order. Police shut down the work, and my front yard looks like a crime scene. Twist number 2. Sharon uncovers Crescent Trails HOA took out a commercial loan using future annexation as collateral, my property included. If I buy the loan, the HOA owes me money. Samantha loves it. I buy the note, become their creditor, and suddenly Karen and her board are in a panic. Emergency meetings, infighting, resignations. Sharon goes to, one comes back grinning, Karen's imploding, she says. And then out of nowhere, a whistleblower, Jill, emails me. She's got evidence Karen's been skimming funds using HOA money for her own yard vacations, a damn Peloton labeled as wellness outreach. We hand the files to City Code Enforcement and the Attorney General. Next thing, the HOA's under audit. Karen skips town, her house up for sale within a week. But I want the win in writing. Final court hearing, Judge Lambert presiding. We present maps, receipts, audio of Karen telling her team to just break in Jill's files. The judge rules Crescent Trails. HOA has zero authority, all fines void, trespassing criminal, Karen personally liable for damages. Afterwards, Samantha and I celebrate with tacos and jokes about getting the judgment printed on a blanket. The silence that follows is almost unsettling. No more envelopes, no more signs, no HOA spies. The neighborhood calms down, and the new HOA charter explicitly bans expansion beyond its current borders. They even invite me to a meeting I politely decline. So what's the lesson? Sometimes power is just people bluffing with paperwork and a mean stare until someone calls them on it. Stand your ground, know your rights, and don't let anyone take what's yours without a fight. Because if you don't, they will. Now let me ask you, where's the line between protecting your neighborhood and flat-out bullying? What would you do if someone tried to walk into your life and take control? Have you fought back, or did you wish you had? Drop your stories below, your wins, your regrets, your HOA horror tales. And hey, if you're ever in my corner of Austin, come by for a freedom cookout. No rules, no dress code, just people who know what it means to own their piece of the world. Just look for the Not Your HOA sign out front. I'll be there finally, right where I belong.